Hey folks, Coach Jayci here and welcome to the Home Body Sculpting and Mobility workout video. Now today we're going to be working on a mode of exercises known as animal flow or primal flow, and they're called so because they emulate the movements of animals, particularly primates or reptiles or children as they're working as infants to be able to navigate themselves around and get themselves on their feet. Now you don't need any equipment at all, just basically maybe a comfortable surface. I've got a rug here, you could use a yoga mat if you want to, or a carpet. That's all you really need, and of course some space along. Now, the reason why we're doing these movements, if you stop and think about it for a moment, what is the objective of this workout program? All workout programs pretty much should be the same thing, and that is to feel more youthful. To feel more youthful could be explained in simply getting yourself stronger and more mobile. That's pretty much it. Okay, and if you look at the movements that children do, we try to emulate those movements. You probably find that it's been years that you've actually used those muscle groups. So let's trim off the years. Now I'm going to warn you, it can be quite taxing on the body. You'll surprise yourself. It'll look easy, but once you give it a try, you'll realize you need to engage every single muscle in the body with a lot of these movements. So I would advise that you have yourself a bottle of water and stand by. We're going to do different movements, then give yourself a 20-second rest and then move on to the next one and so forth. Now, as a disclaimer, I want to say to you pretty much to double check if you're experiencing any severe pains in your joints, etc. when doing any of these exercises. I would advise that you stop doing that particular exercise. Go and seek some advice from a doctor or a physio just to identify if you have any underlying conditions that you may have overlooked. But as always, I would advise that you still keep moving. So work around those exercises, those pains. You don't want to aggravate it, but do not be sedentary. There's not a solution for anything. Anyway, enough of me talking, and let's get on with these animal flow exercises together. Okay, to start with, just gonna do a bit of a warm up to loosen up the wrist because there's gonna be a lot of body weight on your wrist. And you need to shake it out after every single maneuver. So I would suggest you interlock the fingers. And just imagine a figure of 8 laid to its side. So we're going to make that movement there. Okay? Make it nice and slow and deliberate. Okay? Try and go as far as you can within that range of motion. Okay? And you may not think about going the opposite direction, but give it a try and notice how it can be a little bit tricky. Again, you want to get the synovial fluids going through the joints so you feel less sort of tight within the joints, a little bit more free in that movement. Okay, now the waves, which children like to call spaghetti. You see, do this is a body popping move a lot as children. Okay, get the shoulders engaged as well. Loosen up the shoulders. Okay, and again, direction as well. Okay, so going to the left, to the right. Okay, there we go. Now to loosen the shoulders, I'm going to extend the hand out. I hope I'm in the shot here. Move the hand out this way. Okay, just twist the hand as far as it can go in one direction and then the other way direction. Okay, and I will look at the palm up and just rotate the other way again. Looking at the palm. I'm going to lean towards that direction as well. I want to lean my neck to one side. Remember, we want to be loosening up the neck as well. There you go. Okay, now I'm going to go into what we call the quadruped position. So that's this position here. Get rid of the cushion. And in the quadruped position, try and create like a tabletop, nice flat back, nice right angles. That's the aim. That's your form. You start losing that form, you know it's time to rest. Come back to it at a later time. Do not go through the repetitions of the movement when you have lost your form, because then you start overcompensating. Right. Now from that position, just a nice easy one for starters though. Okay, so we're going to go almost like a sliding plank, but going backwards, reach the arms right out. Now in like a child's pose, yoga. Keep the arms nice and straight. Stay carefully. Hands should be now a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. And then we're just going to slide across until my nose passes the two hands. I've got a nice little right angle here with the arms. You can see that right angle here. Tuck it in the arms and then push upwards. Notice I'm breathing out. Breathing is so important when it comes to doing your reps. You'll notice that in a lot of my exercises, okay, it's a nice circular breathing pattern which goes with, in sync with the actual exercise. We'll try again, as far back as we can. Feel the stretch of the latimus dorsal. Slide across until we get almost the triangle in motion in the right hand, so I shake and right angles and push up. Okay, let's do a few more. Out, slide across, right angle with the arms, push up. Okay, two more. Right angle with the arms, push up. And the last one. Right angle with the arms, and push up. We're still on my knees, it's got the whole body weight there. But it's just helping you to warm up. You don't want to kick your body into shock by doing anything that's intense at the moment. Okay. Now, this workout is only going to be about 15 to 20 minutes. It will burn as many calories as you would do if you're normally in the gym on a treadmill for about 45 minutes. But you're not going to have any rest periods that last very long. Okay. Now, we're going to go into a deep squat position. Alright, a lot of you might struggle with this position. I work with so many clients that struggle get into this position, but it is something we need to aim towards, working towards. So don't force it. What I say, what I suggest you do is go on a chair where we can sort of bring down the height of that chair slowly, surely until you're comfortable. Get your heels flat on the ground, slowly, surely. Or maybe you can do bending with something that's stable, holding on to that, work that range of motion. But you really need to start working on that. It's something that does make you feel a lot younger, and there are people in the Far East who sit down in this position a lot as they eat in their 70s and 80s, so there's no excuse. Please try and work towards that. So just to loosen up the joints in the knees, I'm just going to ask you to straighten up this way. Now you can put your hands on the ground if you want to. Feel there. Fingers at least in contact with the ground as much as you can. Okay. Get as deep as you possibly can. And the hands are there just to stabilize you and support you as you move up and down. And again, circulate the breathing so you don't feel fatigue in the joints or in the legs at all. Now you may be asking yourself, where's the intensity? Maybe you're asking that question. It will come, I guarantee you. Keep going with me. You feel a lot looser in the hips and in the knees. Okay, widen the legs apart. It's going to be wider than shoulder width apart, and as always we're going to be moving in different planes of direction. So here I'm going to be doing pretty much the same thing from left to right, down and bring myself across. Okay, toes point upwards, so you feel that little bit of a stretch there. Don't overstretch it because we're not warming up yet. Okay, and go stay low and move across again to the other side. Do you have the hip mobility to be able to make that movement? If you're struggling with that movement, you can go up a little bit, come down. But again, you're working to be able to stay low, like so. Okay, just do about 3 or 4 on each side. Give you one more on either side. Okay, so that's pretty much a little bit of a warm-up, a little bit of a mobility exercise. Now let's get into the animal flow. So we're going to start in a position known as the ape, or of course it's the deep squat. Now again, ideally, you need to be on flat on your heels. But again, if you're not quite there yet, by all means go onto your toes and work your way towards that. Okay, and put our hands back down on the ground. What I'm going to do really is I'm going to travel laterally Okay, so I go from this way. I'm just going to lift myself and just move across, nice and controlled, like so. We go cast again, and we go again. So you do 3 on either side. Okay, one more. Now I noticed there are some people who are able to do this maneuver, lifting their bodies above their head. I'm a jack of all trades, master at now. So I'll be able to show you the basics. But if you're able to do it, by all means, go ahead and do it. Okay? 1, 2, stand up. 1, 2, stand up. And down. Okay? That allows you to get a 20-second break. We'll come back to the next. Okay? Now I want to make it a little bit more intense than we had earlier. I'm going to take the knees off the ground, put body weight onto the wrists. So we'll get the knees off the ground, about 4 or 5 inches, but still keep the right angles there. So we've got the right angle here, and a nice flat top. And we're going to do what we call the contralateral balance. It's also a position for starters anyway, is known as the static beast. So if I mention static beast, you know what to get into. And all we're going to do is do a contralateral movement. That is opposite hand, opposite leg comes off the ground. You're going to feel that tension in the core. So we go lift, hold, balance, 1, 2, 3, and come down. Go again. 1, 2, 3, come down. Then 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and again 1, 2, 3. The next one, 1, 2, 3. Knees down. Take your 20 seconds break. Okay, so back in your quadruped position, we're going to do what we just did earlier. We'll travel, so 3 or 4 steps backwards, 3 or 4 steps backwards. Again, repeat that rep each time. So I think the static beast, now position, and watch opposite foot, opposite leg forward, hold, opposite foot, opposite leg forward, hold. And then go back again, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and back to where we were. Now for me personally, when I do this maneuver, you may notice that I would almost lay my hands down like a tiger would do. Flat. But for me, I find that once I at least move the opposite direction, keeps my wrist nice and supple rather than in one direction. So if you want to move, I would advise you to move it such a manner. Like so. Okay, so there's your 20-second rest. Now that we've done a little bit of travel, so we've gone again naturally, which is known as the frontal plane, forward and backwards, known as the sagital plane, and now we're going to rotate. So in this position again, static beast, we call it sit through. For starters, the basic sit through is just sitting. Okay, so sit down and we come back around to the same position you were in. Okay. Exactly where we were, switch around, back. We're actually going to do that on the other side, shake it out. Okay. Now, take it to the next level, so it's the same sit through, but not really going to be sitting. We're going to try and show off a nice good pose. So, we're going to have nice right angles, bottom not on the ground, hold the pose for about 20 seconds there. I'll just demonstrate one for you, and then we'll do and leg, so go, swing through, point my foot, get a nice L shape, right angle with hand in the air, hold 1, 2, 3, and then back to where we were. Turn around, hold 1, 2, 3, and back to where we were. Now, if you're experienced with yoga or Pilates, then this will not be too alien to you. Okay? However, if it's new to you, I would advise that you at least get one of the reps out. 2, 3. Like I said, have a rest. Don't force it. And eventually you'll get to do the other 2, 3, etc. I just want you to stay with it for now. Okay, so I'm going to do another version of the sit through. This time I'm going to use it onto my static base position and take one leg and put it over the ankle with the other. And from there, I will take around, keep my hands on the ground. Now if you're struggling with that one, okay, no, lift it if you want to, but the correct way to keep your hands on the ground and roll around. Again, not sitting down, forward position, palms nice and flat on the ground, and there we go. You'll start to feel, again, real tension in the out area of the core. Round. And there you go. And knees down. Now, being in a quadruped position for quite some time now. So we're going to turn it right around and go into a crab. Okay, again, as a child, you may remember the tabletop crab. Okay, so we're going to do this again and sit right through and turn into a crab position here. Okay, turn over side on so that you can see clearly. And now, again, just basically mirror the movements we did earlier in the static beast. Okay, so again, quadruped hold, 1, 2, 3, and again, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Again, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Stay here, don't sit down. Hold on, now we're going to travel. Again, we take a little bit of thinking when it comes to coordinating the movements. Opposite foot, opposite leg, land, opposite foot, opposite leg, land. Reverse the movement. Leg, opposite foot. Maybe give another one. Okay, then think it through, don't rush it. I'd rather you do it that way than both on exactly the same side. And then unilateral go contralateral. And one more time. Back. And I'm going to sit right through again. Go right back again. To where we were. And now static beast. And that's 20 seconds. Okay, so again, shaking it off. Alright. Get rid of that tension in the joints. Okay, and now I'm going to work on moving like a lizard. We've done already the 8 movements, the crab movement, the beast, which is known as the bear walk, which I showed you earlier. Now we're going to do a lizard walk, okay, or the lizard style walk. And we need to get into a high plank first, or what we call the reach. Notice I'm a little bit advanced from going horizontal here in that position. And what I'm going to be doing now is lifting my leg so it comes alongside that knee, or hold that position. And back again. Each hold should be about 3 seconds. Hold. I'm going to do 3 on each side. And one more. Remember to breathe. Preferably in through the nose, out through the mouth. And there we go. Back down onto our knees. If you're hanging there, you'll notice that we have probably 2 more different exercises to go. Okay, and then we create the whole routine. We just combine everything together. We're almost there. Okay. Now, this is probably the most intense one I'm going to be showing you today. It is the most intense one I'm going to show you today. But we want to just try and make your way through it, okay? So the same shape, but we're going to do a press up with it. So I'm going to bring my knee to my elbow, bring down to my wrist, and up again. Okay? And we'll do it 6 times. So it's 3 on one side, 3 on the other side. Okay? Check it out. Loosen up the joints again. And let's do this together. So I'm starting with my right side. Okay? So on here, forward, and knee out. Down, breathe out, and again. So again, I'm going to breathe up, in, out. Again. my left hand side. And one more. It's effectively just a press up. Remember the principles of press ups are that the arm must not be level with the head. The hands must not be level with the head. They're behind you. That's why I'm a little bit more requirements. That's how we push things. We push things. If you were to push something standing upright, we push it that way, not like that. And that's the reason why we end up with shoulder problems. Remember, I'm working on mobility. Form is very important. Okay, so have the 20 seconds rest. Now I hope you're still staying with me. If you're not, don't be disheartened. Life's a journey, not a destination, so we'll get there eventually. Okay, now I'm going to do a little bit of traveling now with the lizard walk. The style is pretty much the same as we practice, bringing the knee up, bringing the leg opposite hand forward, contralaterally. I'm going to waddle the body so we're looking towards the direction that the knees bend. Okay, let's go a bit further back here. And there you go. In that position, opposite foot, opposite leg, hold position, then land the foot. Then land the foot. Okay, again, bring it back. Opposite way might be a little bit challenging. Try and keep that same coordination. Okay, again, best possible form, foot down. Best possible form, foot down, and then back again. Last one. Foot down, back again. And back to where we started. Started beast, quadrilateral roundhouse position, and down. So there we go, folks, in the introduction to animal flow, primal flow exercises. Now I'm going to make a confession to you. When I first got into this, I absolutely hated my first lesson. So if you feel the same way right now, then I encourage you to keep going, because the reason why I started doing it was to get into parkour, and I went to learn it in my mid-30s, and it only took a few weeks before I was bouncing up the walls. And you don't believe me, have a look at my Instagram. Your challenge really is to try and create your own routine within 14 days. You've got 14 days to take every one of the exercises and turn it into a nice flowing sequence of your own. Once you're there, you are more than welcome to send me your footage. You don't have to, but I would encourage you to do that, because then it will give you something to work towards. Now, if you want to do a rep per movement, then that's fine, or you can even show me that you can do 3 or 4 reps. You might even be able to show me that you can do better than me. Anyway, that's my encouragement to you. Keep it going. Well done if you stayed with me. However, we cannot end the session without doing our stretches. There's no point doing mobility work if it's going to cause you to seize up the next day and then you're no longer able to do it. So here are some stretches for you, and then you can wind up the session. So hopefully you can see me. While you're in this position, again, let's go into the child's pose again. So down on our knees, reach your hands out, flat out, and feel a full stretch. Okay, arms really fully extended, not bent at all, fully extended. And feel the stretch in the latissimus dorsals, which are these muscles just under the arms there. And reach right up, hold the pose. Now you can get onto the tips of your fingers like I'm doing here, and walk them out, you'll feel that stretch. Or you can interlock the fingers, like so. I'm just doing these variations to sort of kill the 30 seconds time. And then of course you can look to the left and right. And the other side to extend that stretch. Now it is scientifically proven, once you go past 30 seconds, there's not that much of a difference, but you do want to be stretching at least 5 days a week if you're going to do 30 seconds. Okay, or alternatively you can do 60 seconds, let's do that say 3 days a week. Okay, and the stretches don't need to last more than 5 minutes altogether. That's it, but you want to stay young, that's the main goal. Just bear that in mind. Okay, so now we're just going to rotate the shoulders. This is more of a dynamic movement rather than static. And then put the hands right through the other side. Look at this one. So see through the leg through, the arm is going through. And I'm just going to put my ear to the ground. Feel that stretch there. So you should feel it almost opening up the scapulars. Now the hand out, create like an L shape. You should feel the scapulars going apart. Yeah, it's a great stretch there from the upper back, which is often very tense with many people nowadays due to sitting behind the desk. Okay. Remember to keep breathing, never hold your breath when stretching, and just do the opposite again. So I'll go through, now you can see me clearly. There we go. Okay, and again, don't forget to loosen up the wrists. Okay, now I'm going to do a stretch on the psoas, the hip flexors, down my posterior chain. So here we go. It's like a deep lunge. Get my head up. Hold that stretch in. You're trying to get, remember the back foot needs to be pointing forwards. Feel the stretch go down as we breathe. Energy. Don't bounce it, just hold it at the end range. And eventually, naturally, it should increase your range of motion. So I'm going from on the top of my fingers to down the palm of my hands. And if you really want to go a bit further, you've got experience with yoga, you put both hands on the inside, so palms down. Some people can even go down to the elbows in the ground, so I'm struggling with that one. You want to work on your balance, it's always good. You can try into one knee, or even do the prayer position, which is cross, twisting. The twist is quite important, of course, for our stretches. Or prayer position, hold it like so. If you're struggling with the balance, then just put one hand on the ground and reach out. And come down again. So that was for 30 seconds. Now let's do it on the other leg. Again, stretch a little bit first. Feel that stretch, relax it, and gradually and slowly increase the range. Go down to the palms of the hands. Hands on the other side. I want to extend the stretch if you can, elbow down. Twist to work on my balance. Or again, you can try it this way. Again, breathing and down. Beautiful. Okay, so now we stretch the whole body out. Well done.